Hello, welcome. My name is Karen Parker. I am the program manager for the CS4HS program at Google, and we are excited to be here with you this afternoon to talk about the CS4HS program and share with you some perspective and understanding and approaches to supporting teachers in a CS4HS program, both during the instructional time and throughout the school year, to ensure that teachers that are going through professional development for computer science are learning all that they can learn and able to implement what they've learned in their professional development program in the classroom. I'm excited by the panel of guests that we have today. I'll get to introductions of them in just a minute. I just want to share a few details about the CS4HS program. Our applications are currently open, but closing soon, March 19th, at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Applications will close. So we just have a little over, what is that, a week, about 10 days, 19 days, I guess. Today is March 1st, so that's 19 days to finish those applications. The application can be found at the CS4HS website, which is cs4hs.com/apply. Will take you directly to the application. There's a number of resources on our website to help you think about and fill out a competitive application. I also want to let folks know that we will be at SIGSI, the CS4HS team, as well as a number of other Google teams will be at the SIGSI conference next week in Seattle. So if you're planning on attending, please stop by and say hello and ask us any questions that you have about the CS4HS program and how to fill out a competitive application. So with no further ado, I'm gonna have our panelists introduce themselves and we'll dive into our topic. So Ramona, why don't we start with you and your team in New York. Tell us who you are, what university you're at, and your role in the CS4HS program.
Hi everyone, my name is Ramona Santamaria, and my colleagues and I are here from SUNY Buffalo State in Buffalo, New York. I am a presenter and organizer, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Sarbani Banerjee, and I work in the CIS department, Computer Information Systems Department at Buffalo State College. And I help our team in organizing and facilitating and presenting a couple of workshops.
Hi, I'm Neal. I'm also a faculty member in the CIS department here at Buffalo State, and I also facilitate some of the workshops that we do and do a little bit of organizing too.
Great, thank you. Okay, Alfredo, down south to you. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Alfredo Perez. I'm a faculty at Columbus State University. My role in CS4HS was kind of a leader and also instructor for the teachers. Next to Jesem Peker.
And I'm also a faculty at Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia. I helped organize the workshop, and I also presented in the workshop and had some follow-up activities with teachers as well.
Okay, great. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here and being a part of this conversation. Jesem and Alfredo, let's start with you. Can you talk a little bit about your CS4HS program in the last year? The instructional time, the content that you covered, and then a little bit about what your support of teachers has looked like in the last academic year.
Yes, our CS4HS experience was focused on CSP principles. So we took the big ideas and prepared one-day workshops for every single idea, where we exposed teachers to different tools and different ways of teaching the big ideas for the CSP principles. So we relied on the expertise on each one of our presenters to focalize on each of the topics. So each one kind of like were able to tailor the presentation the best they could and also to separate the load because it takes lots of time to prepare and lots of time to organize. So that was mainly how we organized the workshop. And in addition of doing the workshops, then we had activities to support our teachers. These activities were visiting classrooms. Other activities included doing hangouts, similar to what we are doing now and recording the hangouts for those that were not able to be live, and also bringing the teachers back to the university for additional sessions focusing on particular technologies.
Great. So tell me a little bit about sort of how the structure of the time. Were you meeting with them in a block of time during the summer, throughout the school year, monthly, weekly, quarterly?
Was it in the summer?
No, we did it in the fall.
Okay, we did it actually at weekends, on Saturdays, to accommodate teachers who were traveling from far distances. We had some teachers who traveled about 2-3 hours to get here. So it was always at weekends, and the hangouts were again at weekend times. So teachers could participate. And for the visit schools, I guess we went by their schedule.
Yeah. So our workshops were on Saturdays because we organized it as to be during the fall semester of the year. So the way the workshop was organized was initially we had our teachers to come every single Saturday. So in September we had 3 sessions, one Saturday after the other. And then because it gets kind of boring to drive Saturdays to come here, what we did was to give a space, meaning that after the 3rd session, we meet every 15 or 20 days. And then before the semester ended, we left open kind of a complete month for them to come. What that allowed us to do was that we were able to give them enough time for them to practice. And then if they had any questions or any aspect that they wanted to share, they could do it in the next session. Now, in addition to that, we had an online community, and every single Saturday that they came, we left open certain questions or certain kind of homeworks, if you may want to say, as to for them to look in the internet, do the exercises, and then share what they wanted through the social network. And I think that helped a lot because you get them to explore and to share, begin building the community. Now, the 3 days back to back, I think were important at the beginning because I personally didn't know many of the people that came. And they didn't know each other as well. So it kind of helped to build the confidence in that everyone was there to learn. Everyone was there kind of open to share and collaborate and to give them the initial support that usually is the hardest part, which is the start. Once you get used to things and the tools and everything seems to be easier, but the first start is what it is harder.
Yep. And I've actually seen your, turn my volume down a little bit there, your online community, and it's pretty vibrant. You have some good dialogue and participation in the online community that you have. Can you talk a little bit about that? What do you think has led to the success of that community?
Well, I think that the giving them space to share and to apply what they see in their classroom, it has been the key. Since we didn't do it in such a way that it could be kind of a completely closed, meaning that we try to do our workshops in such a way that everyone could take a little bit out of it. So we have different teachers at different levels. That's something that happens in our workshop. And even the most advanced ones, they were saying that they were able to get and grasp things to take back to their classrooms. So leaving these exercises kind of open and giving the opportunity to look at technologies and share the technologies and kind of giving open questions help to thrive the community. So every exercise or the exercise that we gave them, part of it was also to share and to give back. So.
And if I may, I think part of it was also the encouraging of the teachers to post, to share their ideas. And I mean, I think Alfredo did a great job on that part. He always encouraged them, and he was always very responsive. And I think it helps them that they saw that, you know, what they said mattered, and that we didn't really judge them on what they said, but we tried to provide them more resources if needed. Yeah. So I think it was a sort of we had trust in each other, that we were really trying to help each other, them to us and us to them.
Correct.
Yeah, that trust is really important. We know that there's good research out there that indicates that a community of practice, of bringing together of teachers like this, either in a face-to-face format or in an online community, and allowing them to learn from each other and support each other is really the biggest way to impact change in the classroom, and that they're coming together and they're working together to explore and sort out and problem solve the implementing of this new curriculum or this new topic into the classroom. And building trust in those communities is an important element of a successful community of practice. We know that from the research.
We left also, like every time we met, we left a space open towards the end of the session just to share. Meaning, like, what do you think has worked? What hasn't worked? What do you think can be improved? What can you share on applying this or this and that? And it's pretty nice because you get to see the teachers, not we teaching, but they sharing. And I think that's a great point and a great idea on this workshop, that after they end, it's their community, it's not our community anymore. If they want to continue or if they want to collaborate, they will already know how to do it or how to contact each other. So
yeah. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's fly back north up to Buffalo and talk with Neal and Sarbani and Ramona about their program. Tell us a little bit about your CS4HS program for the last year. What's the content that you've covered, and what has your support of teachers looked like? And I would love to hear you talk a little bit about the the experienced CS teachers versus the new teachers to CS. I know that you guys have two sort of different cohorts, and I think you've done a masterful job of supporting those teachers in at different levels and at different points. And I'd love to hear you talk about that.
Thanks, Karen, and thanks so much for sending over the sunshine that just came by. So we really appreciate that. You're sending it from California or from down south, we'll take it. So we have been really fortunate that we've had our grant for several years now, so we've been able to have cohorts. And I'm going to back up a little bit and just kind of talk a little bit about Western New York. Western New York has 12 counties, and we have gotten people from each one of those counties, and 90% of our population of teachers are high school teachers, 10% are middle school. We get them from all different areas. We get them urban, rural, suburban, charter schools, private schools, even elite private schools for students with disabilities like blindness and dyslexia. So we really, we've been able to go out further as far east as Jamestown, as far east as Syracuse, and far south as Jamestown. Syracuse is about 3 hours away, and Jamestown is about an hour and a half away. So we really draw a big, wide area. So in terms of population, we have a really wide range population who we're teaching to. Want to talk about the cohorts?
Yeah, so what we do is that we, every year when we get the grant, we offer the workshop, a 3-day workshop to the new teachers, where we recruit the teachers from all around the place that Ramona has described. We also bring back our returning teachers who want to learn more about, and we offer them the advanced workshop. And I will let Neal describe the curriculum of these workshops. So
the new teachers we've been presenting the ECS curriculum, in particular do some problem solving with CS Unplugged exercises, also some programming and some web page design for our new teachers. A lot of these teachers don't have any experience at all in computer science. They're art teachers or social science, and they really need the basics. Particularly around our area here, there isn't a lot of computer science taught at all in the Western New York area. There's a couple of suburban schools that teach CSP or ECS curriculums, but the Buffalo schools or most of the rural schools don't have any computer science presence at all. So we offer some ECS curriculum for those people. And as we've gotten the grant in further years, we've invited our teachers back, and we've done various things for them. We've done Python programming and App Inventor and Snap programming. Most recently, we've been doing some CSP workshops. One nice thing about our community is we do keep in touch with each other, and Sarbani was able to find some good opportunities for us, like to go to the TeacherCon in Chicago, sponsored by Code.org, where we learned CSP, and then we brought our teachers back for follow-up workshops also. So we kind of keep in touch with each other throughout the year. Each spring we have a reunion in which, again, we offer some workshops in various new topics, and our kind of culminating event is every May we've had what we call a CS4HS showcase and competition, where we invite all of the students of our teachers to come and present work in kind of I'd say like a poster presentation session, although they have their laptops and things like that. And we try and invite a very diverse group of projects. So we have them write up a description of what they'll be doing so that we can kind of okay it, make it kind of official for them. But we have all kinds of different projects, from robotics to posters to game programs to web design, all types of different things. And we give certificates to all the kids and trophies to both the students who had the best projects and their schools. And we've gotten feedback that they can bring that back to their school at an assembly and say, hey, look at what we can do with computer science versus what we can do with sports or other things. So that's been a very exciting opportunity for us.
And the parents really love it because they really are able to showcase their student in their child in a new way. And oftentimes there's all kinds of leadership workshops and assemblies for students who are good at sports or academics, but this is really something that highlights something that is very different. And I think one thing I just wanted to back up a little bit and just say for those who are going to be applying, so in New York State, where there's no certification for computer science, so that's why we're drawing from all these different areas, and we're able to teach these teachers from a basic level all the way up. So the curriculum really supports it.
That's great. So Neal, you had mentioned that you keep in touch with folks, and it sounds like maybe the teacher community keeps in touch with with each other. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about that, how that happens? Is that happening online? Are teachers getting together? Are they connecting at CSTA chapters, or what does that look like?
Mostly connecting at Buffalo State, and we do have a CSTA, Western New York CSTA chapter, which has a fall meeting where we get to touch base with our teachers and also have workshops at that time. The other major event is the spring reunion, which we have. Once again, getting the teachers together. They share their successes and roadblocks that they've had in trying to introduce CS into their schools. One of our major goals for the program, if the teachers can't start teaching a course, that they start computer clubs at their schools. So which they present the material they've learned from ECS and what they've learned on their own also. So they give feedback to new teachers about, you know, how they could be successful in doing things like starting clubs or introducing courses into their schools.
Yeah.
We also have a Facebook group, and we did create a Google group as well. However, that's not successful like Alberto's in terms of our teachers only come back when they have problems, and they'll say, hey, you know what, I'm having a problem with funding, or I'm having a problem with this part of the curriculum, and they kind of crowdsource at that point, but there's not like a daily discussion or anything like that. And I think that that's just the nature of the community that we have, and it works for them.
Yep. And it's great that they're coming back with their problems, right? Like that's when you want them to reach out and get help and not give up or try and muscle through it on their own. We know that firsthand in the tech industry, that that's a part of the culture, particularly at Google, that we want to come together and work together to solve problems. It creates a richer, more dynamic solution typically to the problem when there are lots of people involved in trying to figure it out. So that's great to hear that your teachers are doing that, and that you've created an environment that allows them to feel safe to present their problems. So let's talk a little bit about, are either of you, Alfredo or Neal and Sarbani and Ramona, actually going into the classroom? Do you have resources going into the classroom to support teachers in the classroom?
Well, during the workshops, that's pretty much what we did. If a teacher requested any of us to attend to see how they deliver a session, or to support, or actually ask to deliver it, we pretty much gave ourselves that opportunity to the teachers. So during the workshop, it happened that way. I'll have to say that it was successful in the sense that not only those teachers were the ones that began asking us to go, but also other teachers, like friends, that were interested on that. So what has happened right now in the school and with the CS4HS workshops is that as a consequence of the CS4HS workshops, one of the participants, she's actually like a teacher of teachers in the school district. And through her, she organized their own school. It's called the Muscogee County School of Robotics and Coding. So it is their school, and we were invited to teach there. So my point is that we were going from a model, or we are going from a model that we are the ones that are providing and are the ones that are trying to get things out, to a model where is the school district the ones that would like to continue working and doing this type of things. So right now, what has happened is that we have one position in the department that is an outreach coordinator. So right now, every request to go to school or something like that is channeled through her, because she can take not only she can invite not only faculty but also students. So to give more support. And of course, like right now, if a teacher requests that any of us to to come to the classroom, we will accommodate and try to attend the session. One thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the conversation was that in our first session, we had the local CSTA president of the Georgia chapter, which is Ms. Deepa Muralijar, and she was a tremendous support because CSP was kind of a new curriculum the first year that we jumped into it, and she helped us shape in a way that was easier for the teachers and easier for us as well, because you have lots of material, but what can work? I will have to say that the actual teachers that which will be at that level, the ones that will be teaching it, will have better experience on that. So bringing Deepa was a tremendous help, a tremendous support at the beginning, and I'm really thankful for having the opportunity to bring her here to help us with the workshops.
Great. Yeah, those CSTA chapters are invaluable resources to a lot of CS4HS programs. We've seen that time and time again, and I think part of it is because you're actually establishing relationships and connections with the teachers themselves, and understanding what their needs are and their challenges are, and then being able to shape a PD program around those needs and challenges.
Correct. So it was. I would have to say that it was a great support, especially at the beginning of the program.
Yeah, great, fantastic. So, what would you guys, if you had an opportunity to sit down with someone that had never applied for CS4HS and maybe had never done much professional development work with teachers, and you had an opportunity to give them some words of wisdom or advice for developing a PD program that provides good ongoing support for teachers, what would you tell them?
So one of the things that we did the first year that we were applying for the grant is we did some crowdsourcing just right on Facebook. And we kind of reached out to all the teachers and that we knew and said, hey, you know, we're applying for this grant and we'd like to be able to find out a couple of things, like what programming would you be interested in? When would you like the event to happen? Even as much as like, what would be an ideal location for you to have, for us to have it at? And really crowdsourcing beforehand. So once we did that, then we had a whole bunch of data that we could use to support our grant that we were proposing in our project, and saying, hey, you know what, we've already taken a survey, we've surveyed 60 teachers, and 60% of them said that they'd be able to come a week right after school is done, and they're all in, you know, and 80% said they're interested in ECS topics, 20% are interested in robotics, you know, so we were really able to have a real quick turnaround, because if the deadline's in March and then we have to have the professional development in June, we needed to know we had a base of people that would come to the workshops, and it ended up being really successful the first year. We even had a waiting list. But I'm sure that Sarbani and Neal want to say stuff too. What good advice do you want to give?
Well, like Ramona was saying, you got to know your audience around. We were pretty aware that computer science was not really stressed in most schools in the Western New York area. So we were really reaching out to all types of teachers and looking at more basic information to give them, particularly ECS curriculum, or even the ECS curriculum's a little bit fast for some of them also.
Definitely.
And that's another thing. I mean, people will get to know that as they work with teachers. Teachers are interesting students that they really want to learn, and they can go off on tangents and things like that. But they really want to learn, and we found out that there was a strong need and a strong interest in introducing these topics into their curriculum.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead, please.
Oh no. Well, I have to say that right now, since there has been so many CH4HS programs in the last 5 or 6 years, if I were to apply the first time, I'll go to the CH4HS website and I will check what were the last active sites. That can give you an idea about what are the expectations for the program. You are like, let's say that you jump in the parachute and you are just going to land, and the first time you're going to be doing it. So I'll have to say that looking at what other people have done can help you to shape or giving you the idea of the format, the content, and there are many very good websites of the CH4HS program that provide really, really, really good information. Now, let's say that you already, for some reason, you were not able to apply this current year, and you want to work for next year. Try to find opportunities where you can volunteer, so you can see how other people have done it. In my case, before coming to Georgia, I was living in New Mexico, and I had the opportunity to attend the Supercomputing Challenge teacher preparation. So I got the opportunity to see how people that have done it throughout other years have gone through that way. So that can give you a hint about how to approach the teachers, how you can deliver the information to the teachers, because it might be a little bit different on how we regularly will do it for a student in the classroom.
Yeah, that's great. Your mention of the CS4HS website reminded me, Alfredo, that we actually just launched today some CS4HS case studies. So if you log on to the CS4HS website and hit the link to the case studies, you can actually read about what successful CS4HS programs have done and how they've operated and how they've thought about their work. So. Did you have something you wanted to add, Sarbani?
Yes, I was just going to say that for the new organizers, it will be a good idea to prepare a flyer and distribute the flyers to the target audience. And in that flyer, make sure that you say that it is a free workshop. You know, we write free three times to make sure that they understand that they don't have to pay anything. Also, I would say that, you know, be sure to advertise that if you will be giving any professional development credits, so be sure to advertise that also, that the teachers will be getting the credits. Teachers would always love to come to the workshop where they are, you know, where they're going to get the breakfast and lunch, where they will be taken care of. So make sure that you, if you will be giving those to them, make sure that you put that on the flyer. And, you know, preparing a nice flyer and getting to the target audience will make a difference.
And swag. So, you know, although Google gives great swag, but we also try to have local businesses donate things and try to get some breakout sessions where we have people present different robotics things or whatever, just little interest, like areas of interest to support what we're already teaching, but to kind of give it a real conference feel. Anything that you can grab from the community that gives teachers, even if it's like an extra pen, or we had one guy come in and do a demonstration on 3D printing in the breakouts, in the, you know, when they had their break, they love it. So anything you can bring in from the community that kind of supports what you're already doing in the classroom is really helpful.
Yeah, great. Well, it also is clear from this conversation that you guys are not working in isolation by yourselves, that you both in your own respective way have built a team of people at your universities and in your community to help provide professional development for teachers and support them in meaningful ways. So tell me a little bit about your team. It's the three of you. Ramona, is there anyone else that's involved in your CS4HS program? How did you guys come together?
We have so many. We have so many, and I'm going to let Neal and Sarbani kind of speak to that, because there's so many different players in this.
So we have one person who helps us with the outreach. So he contacts the area high school and the principal, superintendents, and then we have one person who is like the advocacy person who does all the awareness workshop, especially when we bring the parents and the students down for our showcase and competition. So at that time, we make sure that the parents are occupied with doing something, so they attend the awareness awareness workshop. So we have other people who help us with the as a facilitator. And we have Neal talk about how the teachers also help us facilitating the workshop.
Okay. Well, we do have some other faculty at Buffalo State and other places who have come to facilitate different software products that they are experts in. As far as the teachers themselves, we have some of the teachers present things, particularly if we're doing like a workshop on CSP, we'll have the teachers design lessons themselves and present them. And we also have some local teachers who are ahead of the curve as far as already having a strong computer science presence at their school. And they help us also in presenting various topics and also giving support and good ideas to the other teachers. One of the things that we do at every one of our workshops is we have brainstorming sessions on how to introduce computer science and how to start clubs and what would be good things to do during clubs, and our teachers are presenters in those areas.
Great.
We also reach out to other departments on campus as well, and even as much as when we have our student showcase, we reach out to our recruitment area, and we ask for t-shirts for the students and information about our college so that it becomes a bigger event. It's not just come and present, but now you have an experience on the college and you're coming away with something as well.
Great. Alfredo, tell us about your team.
Yeah, we were 6 faculty, I believe, that were organizing the workshops. I was kind of the coordinator, which means like leading that this should happen in this. But pretty much every session was handled by a different faculty. So that gave us the opportunity to offload the work because now it's shared. It also allow us to have the teachers to see different ways of teaching, because each one of us has a different way of approaching or teaching computer science. Correct. So we were six people. In addition to that, well, as I mentioned before, Ms. Deepa Muradijar was also part of our team at the beginning. Yes, so that were the people involved. Now, we had an advantage. I'll have to say that all our instructors or our presenters, we have taught CS1, and we regularly do it. So kind of like what the expectation of what you see of a high school student getting into the classroom without no experience of programming, and having that opportunity to teach help us when we train the teachers, because many of them never had they had been exposed. So the didactics are a little bit different. Also, we had workshops that didn't concentrate on, or sessions that didn't concentrate on actual programming or software products, but techniques to teach computer science. Yep. So there is this book that was published by a researcher from Israel that pretty much talks about what are the different techniques or the different approaches that you can utilize to teach computer science, and that's a lot of fun, because you can then show them that there is no only programming that they can learn to learn computer science, but there are other ways like kinematic activities or other opportunities that also can help to learn.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Well, we've been at this for 40 minutes now, so thank you for your guys' perspective and feedback and insight. You're clearly doing some incredible work with teachers in your respective areas. I want to give those folks that are watching this the opportunity to ask questions. You can post questions on the YouTube page in the comment section, or you could post questions on the Google Plus community for myself or for any of our panelists. We'd love to hear from you. And while we wait to see if there are any questions, I'll just throw out some reminders that the CS4HS applications are available on our website, cs4hs.com/apply. Those those applications are due March 19th, which is just a couple weeks away. So please take a look at the application. There's also a number of resources on our website that can help folks think about how to build a competitive application, HOAs that we've done earlier in the year, as well as some research on teaching computer science and learning computer science, and as well as our case studies of successful CS4HS programs that have been run in the past. Let's see, and Alfredo, thank you. You posted the book that you referenced, The Guide to Teaching Computer Science, an Activity-Based Approach. Thank you for that. I'll also mention the Google CS Education team, as well as which is the CS4HS program. As a part of that team, will be at SIGSE next week in Seattle. So please stop by our booth and ask questions, learn more about what CS4HS is doing, as well as what some other initiatives that Google is working on in CS education. We would love to meet you and to tell you about the work that we're doing and learn more about the work that you're doing. So please join us. And it looks like we don't have any questions yet. Maybe we won't get any. Maybe you guys have been so thorough that, or maybe everyone's coming to SIGSE next week. So they're just going to save their questions for being live in Seattle.
I think it's important to say to everybody who's thinking about applying that it's such a worthwhile program, and you get so personally fulfilled for working with teachers and seeing what they bring back from their students or talk about, that, you know, just keep applying. Just keep applying, keep working on your program, because that's really what we need in order to spread CS. Right,
Yeah.
Sarbani? Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're honored to come alongside you guys and support you. You guys are doing the real work on the ground of meeting with teachers and supporting teachers. We just get to do the fun work of handing out money. So we're honored to come alongside you guys and support you, and wish you all the best of luck as you finish up the school year and head into the next school year. So thank you for your work. And I guess we don't have any more questions, so we'll wrap it up for the day, and hope to see folks in Seattle.
Thank you,
Okay,
Karen.
bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Alfredo.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Karen.